Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Jonathan here at Shadow Foam, and today we're visiting Morrisons Manufacturing to look at their toolboxes in their workshop. Worked here for about 3 years as an engineer on shift, and 7 years ago I set up 4 toolboxes for each of the shifts, all with Shadow Foam Original. So today we're revisiting this factory and we're going to be refreshing one of the toolboxes. So let's get in there. So we've arrived at the engineering side of the factory. We're going to be entering the workshop now, and they have 4 toolboxes for each of the shifts: red, blue, yellow and green. And they have a roll cabinet which has all of the hand tools, and then the cupboard above has the electrical chargers and it has all the abrasive stuff. So we're going to be taking one of the toolboxes today and we're going to be overhauling it, respraying it and redoing all of the foam. So let's go and find it. Right, so we've just left Morrison's, we've got the toolbox, and we had a good chat with some of their engineers, and now we know what tools they're missing, what tools they want to replace, what tools need replacing. So we've got a list of tools that we need to get. The next thing we need to do is head over to the tool shop. We're going to be heading to Warnhill Tools and Fasteners on Winsford Industrial Estate. So if you're in the Cheshire area, I'd really recommend Warnhill's for any tools you might need. It's a bit of an Aladdin's cave really, of loads of different brands of tools. They've got loads of stuff there ready to buy on the shelf, and it's all really good prices too. So we've got to head there to get the tools on the list. And then we're going to head to D&J Factoring in Northwich, which is also an amazing little spot. If you need any paint supplies, they've pretty much got everything covered there, from all your like sandpapers and paints and primers and all that stuff. So we've got to head there as well, pick up all the paint supplies, and it'll be back to the unit to get the roll cab ready for painting. Right, so we've got back to the unit, we've taken the toolbox out, we've given it a full degrease, we've masked it off, and we've given it a sand as well. So now it's time for some paint. Right, so that's a prime coat down. So now onto the paint. That is knackering for starters. It's quite a hot day here at Shadow Foam. We've just come back now and done a thicker coat of blue, and that's gone down really nicely. We're using this Hammerite Smooth Blue, which is pretty good. Wasn't too expensive either, from DJ Factoring that we went to earlier, and it's gone down really well. So that should be pretty hard wearing anyway, but we're going to do about 2 or 3 coats of lacquer on top of this next. So that should be a lot more hard wearing for the workshop it's in. Right, so we've got all the drawers out of the roll cab. Obviously we've got it spraying outside, so it's time to move on to the drawers. Hey guys, have you subscribed to the channel yet? If not, it'd really help us out if you click that subscribe button and click the little notification bell, and then you'll get a notification next time we put a video live. With that being said, let's get back to it. So first thing to do is we're going to remove the tools, the existing tools, and we're going to bin off this existing liner. And then before we start cutting any foam, we're going to just clean up all of the drawers. These drawers have got a load of sticky kind of grease marks and residue on them, and if we give them all a clean up, we can put them back in the roll cab, and then at least we know that that part of the job is all done. So let's get them all cleaned up. Right, so that's the last drawer wiped out, and they've come up really nicely actually. They're not quite as good as new because there are quite a few little bangs and knocks on them, but all the oil marks and grease marks and dirty thumbprints that was on this aluminium rail have all come off thanks to this sticky stuff remover, which also says it's for tar and for rubber marks, so that is some good stuff. So the next thing we need to do is check that the toolbox is dry. It has had about 4 coats of lacquer now, so all being well, we can put the drawers back in. Right, yeah, so that looks That looks about ready. It's had a few hours, to be honest, so I was kind of knew it would be pretty dry, but it's actually come out really nicely as well. It's a nicer shade of blue than it was. It was a bit of a darker navy, so it didn't quite match the tool cabinet, so we've tried to brighten it up, go for more of a royal blue. So we'll peel off the first little piece of masking tape. And that's just the ticket. Right, let's get the drawers in. Right, so that's the toolbox all sorted out. We've got the handle back on, we've pulled all the masking tape off, the finish is really good, and the drawers look mint back in there. So next job is to get all the foam sorted. Right, so that's all the foam cut. We've measured up the drawers. There's 7 drawers in the toolbox, so that means they're ready to cut some tools in now. And all we're going to need is one of our cutting kits. So these do come free with orders on our website over £50, and these have got everything you need to get started cutting shadow foam. So you've got your anti-cut gloves, which you really want to make sure you're wearing when you're using the scalpel. It's got a scalpel handle, 5 blades. It's got some repair glue, so if you make a mistake you can then just glue the piece of foam back in. It's a flexible special rubber repair glue, and it's also got cut instructions in there, and it's got a sticker as well. So it's got everything you need to get started, and that's exactly what we're going to do now. We're going to get started on our 7 liners. Right, let's see how that fits in the top drawer. Right, so that's the first drawer, and we've got finger pulls on everything, all of the items lifting and out nice and easy, and I think we've got a really good balance there. So we've got all of the spanners up to 22mm, we've got the screwdrivers, the stubby screwdrivers, and the measurement equipment. So that's a lovely, nice and neat categorised drawer. So onto the large spanner drawer now. Right, so we've nearly finished this large spanner liner. This is the second one. We've had to put it on pause though, because although they've got all of the large spanners, including the 24mm, which was on their list, they're missing a couple of sockets. So the main one is 19mm. There's not a 19mm half-inch socket here, which is pretty important. They're going to want one of those. So we'll nip back to Warnhill and get one of those. They have got 32mm, 30mm, 24mm socket, and then this one's a bit of an oddball, 26mm. It's FACOM, so it's separate. It leads me to believe they've bought it in specifically for some piece of equipment, so we're going to include it, but they can always change that to a 27mm if they need to. But for now, we'll move on to the next drawer. Right, so what I wanted to do before we headed off to get that 90mm socket is I wanted to go through all the liners and make sure that I wasn't missing any other tools. So we've done all the layouts now for all of the other 6 drawers that we haven't cut yet. We've got all of the meters sorted, all the electrical equipment, all the heavy process. This is the mechanical drawer, that's the T-handle drawer. And the only other item that I've realised we're missing is a 2mm T-handle Allen key, because the set that we're replacing, the cheap set we were replacing, had a 2mm T-handle, and this set doesn't. So we're going to pick one of those up, and other than that, once we've got those 2 items, we can get into cutting the rest of the liners. Right, that's the last liner now. Let's try them in the toolbox. Right, so we're at Morrisons and we've just dropped off the toolbox and that's looking mint, so all that's in place and sorted. We've got to do the 2 foam inserts for the cupboard now, so we've got all the power tools and all the cutting and abrasive equipment that goes in the top here. So we're going to be trimming these to fit in this cupboard and then we'll be cutting all the tools in. But as you can see, this one set is part of a range of 4. So essentially this engineering crew has 4 shifts, each with a colour-coded tool set. We're starting with the blue set. We originally provided all these 6-7 years ago, and now we're just replacing all of the Shadow Foam original with the new grade of Shadow Foam, which is a bit more hard wearing and it's going to be more suitable in this environment. So hopefully we'll get these done and then this set will all be finished off. Right. We've done a bit of a layout, so it's time to get cutting some foam. Well, I feel like I've cut a lot of foam over the last couple of days and I can definitely feel it in my fingers now, but I think my toes are all right. On to the last one. This is the easy one. Right, so that wraps up this toolbox. We've obviously we did the 7 drawers back at our unit and we've done these 2 liners here today, and it took about an hour and a half doing these. We've handed it all over now, we've shown it to the engineers on shift, they're happy with it. We've managed to get all of the tools that were on the list that they needed. Big thank you to Morrisons for having us. We'll hopefully do the other 3 boxes in a future video, but if you like this, drop a like below and a subscribe if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you like that video, why not check out some of our others? We've got new videos coming out every week. And Colin Furs, what's the quickest way for people to see these videos?
Subscribe.